Howdy folks, thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all doing okay today. So, I watched a video from a YouTuber that I really enjoy watching. Guy's got a ton of subscribers. I love hearing his stories, love hearing his take on things. He's a very successful collector and classic car salesman. Very successful salesman when it comes to anything that he can turn a dollar on. Doesn't cross the line into illegal stuff, but very successful salesman. He went and ordered a brand new Maverick. The only option box that he ticked was getting the 2-liter EcoBoost over the hybrid. He put a boatload of miles on the thing rapidly, fell in love with it. He's gonna get it dolled up a little bit for a shop, but he bought a Maverick. Now, when I bought the Focus that I normally drive, I had been comparing prices and insurance and fuel mileage for about a year, off and on. Nothing, I wasn't going through it all the time, but I was definitely well informed about how much a vehicle would cost, not only in purchase price but in running costs and insurance. And so when it came time to go make a purchase decision, I only needed the dealership to check my math on the financing, and I was right. So, in right around 2 years' time, my oldest daughter will be driving age, and I'm kicking around what might be next for me to drive. I do want something that's comfortable. My little Focus, it's a fairly comfortable little car. For something that small, I'm pretty comfortable in it. I don't think I've had it terribly far from... I've never taken it on an extended road trip, but I did Uber in it for a while, and I'm comfortable enough in it to pull a 8-hour stint behind the wheel with just a couple pee-pee stops. So, got to be fairly comfortable. Want it to be something fairly decent on gas. Mid-20s to upper 30s would be kind of in the range where I'm looking. Well, in this so I've been going into work pulling some overtime, and my plant builds the F250 to F550 Super Duty, the Ford Expedition, and the Lincoln Navigator. We've been doing a little bit of work, and I've been moving trucks around on the company property due to the semiconductor shortage. Well, I have absolutely fallen in love with these trucks. And I realized, okay, first off, the Super Duties of what I've been driving, and I've always had a truck in the driveway. Always. I've got that old work truck that used to be my dad's. I bought it from him very shortly before he got sick, got his cancer diagnosis. But I've always had a pickup truck in the driveway, and sometimes they were a daily driver when I didn't have a huge commute. Other times they were just a worker when I need a truck to do truck stuff. I've got a truck to do truck stuff. But I've always had a truck, and I've always... The arguments against trucks are, especially, old style frame and body, 4-wheel drive, has the aerodynamic profile of a brick and weighs a lot, drives like a truck, rides like a truck. The arguments against them are there. I get it. I've driven a bunch of them. I've driven cars and driven crossover type vehicles, and in most cases you don't need a truck to do the stuff that I do day in and day out. But it's just like coming home, because I started driving a truck. I started driving in a truck, I should say. First truck was a 97 F-150. Well, I've fallen for these things. I like them. I like the way they feel, like the way they sit up. I like the feel of them. Now I'm not getting to road test these things. I'm moving them around in a parking lot. Well, anyway, I did just a little bit of digging. I haven't looked up anything serious, and I highly doubt I'll be able to justify the purchase price of one, considering not only are they way more expensive than anything that I was kicking the idea around of owning, but the running costs would be through the roof compared to anything I'm looking at. I think the worst vehicle I'm considering gets like 27 highway, 28, something like that. And these trucks will get 20 if you get the diesel engine, which is a $8,000 option. Don't get me wrong, I love diesel engines, but I don't have the need to pull that much weight. I don't have the need to have that much truck. I'd be the guy that buys a truck because I want a truck, and I'm going to drive a truck and burn a ton more fuel than I need to. And I've got 110-mile commute per day round trip. And so you do that math, 30 versus 15, that adds up real quick. And 30's low side. I wouldn't mind getting something that would get into the 40s, and there's a couple options on the table for that. So I wish I could justify it, and if there was a way that I could side hustle into finding a way to make the truck work, I'd consider it. I'm really wanting to get out of the lawn care business, so that's kind of out of the question. But it's something that I just like the feel of them. I like being up in them. But I'm also thinking about a Ranger, and that's way more reasonable money and way more reasonable fuel consumption and running costs. But anyway, just thought it'd be something that would be interesting to share. And when I bought the Focus, I bought something, I needed it to fit me comfortably for a couple hours at a stretch and to get good fuel mileage. And I knew I'd have to put my wife and kids in it, but it wasn't an everyday thing, and it wasn't that was not the family vehicle. That was my vehicle to go do what I had to do. And it has done everything I needed it to do. It's fulfilled exactly what I thought it would do. It is slow, it is economical, it is relatively comfortable for a small sedan, and cheap to run. So I'm not unhappy with it, but just the way that my brain works, I'm already peeking at what I'm going to end up getting next. And I tell you, those Super Duties, man, they're tempting. And the sky's the limit on the pricing on those. There's some very, very nice options that you can get on those. They have built-in massaging seats now as options on certain trim levels and packages, and they're very nice. But I couldn't justify spending that kind of money. I'd end up getting something slightly optioned out work truck. If I bought one, I'd want something that I'd probably end up going with the gas engine option, the bigger 7.3 liter gas engine option, 4-wheel drive. I don't don't really need all the room for the kids, but I could go extended cab or full super per regular cab. Don't know. And I'd get the plow and the camper prep package and the heavy, the max tow package, and just kind of get like a base truck or maybe the XLT. So the XL or XLT, and then just cruise and power windows are all I really want, but you get a lot of options on the interior. My Focus, it has the Bluetooth connectivity, cruise, power windows, door locks, and the only other option is it's got the automatic climate control, where you can just set the temperature and it does its thing. I'd probably end up getting something similar to that in interior options. The only options that my Focus has, it's a SE with the 1 liter EcoBoost automatic transmission and the I forget the option package, but the one where you get the automatic climate control. Those are the only options on the car above the standard SE Focus. So anyway, just figured I'd share that with you. But yeah, I like the 7.3 engine. I like the Super Duties. I've been spending a few hours in them this past week. I like the way they feel. I like the presence of them. I like being up. Granted, I love my Mustang, but nothing like it. And I'm not getting rid of my Mustang because this car has been a dream car forever, even though it's gradually losing its clear coat, and it's a turd, but it's my turd. So anyway, take care.